What is up, nation? It is your boy Duel, and today I wanted to bring you guys something special. The new OCG April 1 ban list just dropped today, this morning. I'm currently recording at 8:42 a.m. I just got off work. So I wanted to go over this list with you guys and just kind of explain what this might imply for the TCG and how this will impact the meta and what I like and what I don't like. So let's get into it. Obviously, you can see we are on a YUGIOH organization. They always bring banger content. So for the forbidden cards, we are going to be looking at Imperial Order and Predaplant VERTE Anaconda. They actually killed the snake, and I mean, I think that's a really good thing. We'll have to see what changes they made to some of the fusion monsters, but I think this is pretty good. Imperial Order is big pog. I'm glad to see that everyone's kind of on the same page about, you know, fudge this card, no one wants it. So I think that these are two really good bans. They didn't go for any archetype specific bans, which is very interesting, but let's see what they limited. So Fusion Destiny, this waifu, and the Rite of Arimacia. This is Aquamancer, or Water Enchantress as they call it. Yeah, alright. So Fusion Destiny was banned last OCG list, and now it's at 1. So Destroy Phoenix Enforcer is actually like a thing you can do now. But one Fusion Destiny, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be as good as people may gas it up to be. And then the two searchers for the Brave engine. I mean, honestly I see this coming. It's just being run in every single deck. I think that this might kill the engine, but it also might just kind of be like a tech choice now, where you just might see people run it. It might be convenient in decks that can run like Cherubini, like Phantom Knight. They actually have a guaranteed way to get Water Enchantress in the graveyard, so I still think that Brave token will see play. But it's really cool that they're coming down on this engine as quickly as possible. I hope that this means that it's gonna see a hit in the TCG in our upcoming list, because I feel like a lot of the format has just been centered around the Brave tokens and just everyone playing Adventure and whatnot. So these are some decent limits, I won't lie. Still no real archetype specific hits outside of the Brave engine, so semi-limits. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, oh this is a juicy, oh Simo is mauling right now.
This is balls. Like, this is balls bad. Oh my god.
Oh, they have this all backwards. So, Tri-Brigade Fractal to 2, Pot of Prosperity to 2, Branded Opening, Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine, Orchist Harpore, Wind Up Zenmaity, Harmonizing Magician, Night Assailant, Trishula, Beginning of the End, Raigeki, and Divine Wind of Mist Valley. Where do we even start? I guess we start with Fractal. Yeah, this doesn't do too much. Taking a starter out of Tri-Brigade, definitely, like one card, it matters, but it doesn't really affect the deck's ability to play. Tri-Brigade is known for being a very consistent deck just because it has so many starters, so I don't think this will do too much. Pot of Prosperity, this is interesting, and I honestly like this hit. I think that no one really likes this card. This is the first pot card that's come out that people are just like, this isn't okay. Like, this has to go. So I think seeing this go to 2 is actually very promising. I hope it goes to 2 in the TCG, because this card just makes me mad salty. You just basically get to search your deck for anything, and I'm not a fan. Branded Opening. What does this card do? Discard one card, then take one Despia monster from your deck. Oh, it's a searcher, and either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense position. Also, for this, you cannot special summon except fusion monsters. If a fusion monster you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard. Instead, you can only use this effect of Branded Opening once per turn. Yeah, I can see why this got hit. This card is broken. Just being able to search anything. This is a it's kind of like a pseudo Return of the Dragon Lords for Despia. So having a consistency hit, and on top of the protection effect also, I can definitely see why this card would go. It's not the best card, but Despia is considered to be the best deck in the OCG.
Coronavirus!
I don't think this is a bad hit at all. How much it will do is up for debate, but not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Elixir of Scarlet Sanguine. Not hitting skill drain. They are very adamant about hitting the direct archetype instead of hitting the floodgates. That's a bit worrisome. But Scarlet Sanguine, I think this is actually a very, very significant hit to Eldritch, because like the difference between the maths, I don't really do math, but I just know that the difference between 3 copies of a card and 2 copies of a card is very significant when you're looking to open up, like when you're looking to open well. So I think that this is actually a very significant hit to Eldritch. They'll still be able to play, but just less so. And then moving on, we have Harpore. This is a little buff to Orcus. I don't know how much this is gonna do, but it's cool to see this deck start to come back. Hopefully nothing too degen happens, but I think we should be fine. And then Wind Up Carrier Zenmighty, or Zenmighty, Zenmight, I don't know. From limited to semi-limited, this card's still banned in the TCG. So it's very interesting. I think that, you know, wind-ups aren't doing anything, but I think this card could have just stayed at 1. I don't like that they want to bring this back. And there's another hit I can already tell I'm going to have beef with, or not a hit, but a change on this list I'm going to have some beef with. So I don't know how I feel about Zenmighty. I think this was a miss. This one's an L. But, you know, only time will tell. And then Harmonizing Magician 2/2. It's weird that this card is at 1 in the OCG, whereas it's at 3. With them having Electromite as well, I think that Pendulum is going to be incredibly strong, and they're going to have a lot better follow-up plays. But it doesn't, I don't know how much it will do. It'll add consistency. I think this will actually be a pretty solid buff to Pendulum. They definitely need it. They're not doing anything, so it's always good to see. Night Assailant to 2. Why? No, why? Stop. This doesn't need to happen. For those of you who don't know, Night Assailant basically sets you up for an infinite discard loop because it can add itself back from graveyard. So you can just Night Assailant, target Night Assailant if you have another one, and you can just keep looping it over and over and over again. I don't know why they did this. I don't think there were any Night Assailant advocates, but maybe OCG is just built different. This worries me though. This worries me a lot. Trishula to 2. I don't think this is gonna matter too much, if I'm being honest. I just don't think that Trishula loops are that good. But I think it's cool to see this. I like Trish. Everyone loves Trish. Trish is the people's champ. And then the beginning of the end to 2. It's at 3 in the TCG and it doesn't do anything. I know they have a bigger danger presence in the OCG because I think they have 3 of each danger, and then I think it's 1 Saryuja or something like that. They have some pretty good danger combos. So I can see maybe why this was hit, but I don't think it going from 1 to 2 is going to change a lot. Yeah, it's whatever. Raigeki to 2, I don't know what it's going to do. I mean, it's at 3 in the TCG, and nothing is not doing anything. No one's like citing 3 Raigeki, which is still crazy to me. It's crazy to me to think that Raigeki, of all cards, the powerhouse, ridiculous card that it is just not being played when it's at 3. That blows my mind, but you know, it is what it is. The results don't lie. And then Divine Wind of Mist Valley, I still don't know what this card does, and honestly, I'm not even gonna worry about it. So let's move on to the Unlimits. So we got 4 Unlimits. Metaverse. I think that Metaverse is fine. They don't have Mystic Mine in the OCG, which TCG, take notes, ban that card, nobody likes it. So this doesn't really do too much. I think it would be cool to see more field spell decks kind of take main stage. in the OCG. We'll see if it does anything. I know this is probably Pog for the Invoked player base over there, because they only have 2 copies of Magical Meltdown. So I bet they're glad to see this. Hero lives to 3. What was this at? This was at 2 and now it's at 3. Okay, yeah. I mean, Hero's getting their buffs. They definitely kind of got slapped as a result of DPE. So I think it's cool to see this come back. And then Memories of Hope. I didn't even know that this card was semi-limited, to be honest. Doesn't do anything. Numeron is not that good without their Utopic Zexal whatever. So that's cool. And then Malty Faker going from 2 to 3. Wow. I actually just didn't know that this card was at 1. I thought that this had come back. But, I mean, Ultrageist isn't doing enough. I feel like it's kind of been power crept out of existence. No one's really playing Geist. It just kind of loses to too much now. But I think that's going to do it for the list review. I think this is a good list. I think one of my bigger sort of beefs with Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2022 is the fact that there's just so many like just universal engines that everyone can play, and it's like, okay, everyone's playing the DPE engine, everyone's playing the Brave engine, and you know, there's all the hand traps. So it's cool to see a lot of these bigger, more prevalent engines get hit, and we're gonna see a lot more uniqueness to decks going forward. So I think that maybe in terms of the stability of the meta, this might not be the best list, but I think just having more personality to decks, it will make people enjoy the game a lot more. That'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.